The ancient wisdom of the masters says that even a mighty oak was once a nut like you. That was Mark Brown from his book Zen Pig Volume 1. Today is both National Nut Day and National Color Day. So shout out to walnuts and the color blue. I'm into you. Alright, this is your host, Non-Luminous Flame, and I'm back for another one. I don't know if you all can see the fair going across the street. It's Mexican sponsored. I don't know. I guess they don't get quite enough in tax revenue from old Whitey, so they need to throw fairs sometimes. But the music's terrible. But if you hear music, I guess, going on behind me, more American sounding, there's like a band, like a two-man band thing going on, and it's like 50 feet that way. But I'm behind a sound-bearing wall thing, so it's harder to hear. Okay, so my subject today will be part of the two-part series on the Zen of men. Alright, this will be about what's called Mushin, or no mind, a samurai concept, but I'm just going to dive in. The Japanese term Mushin translates to no mind in English, and is a state into which trained martial artists are said to enter during combat. They also practice this mental state during everyday activities. The term is shortened from Mushin no Shin, a Zen expression meaning mind without mind, and is also referred to as the state of no-mindedness, that is, a mind not fixed or occupied by thoughts or emotion, and thus open to everything. Mushin is achieved when a person's mind is free from thoughts of anger, fear, or ego during combat or everyday life. There's an absence of discursive thought and judgment, so the person is totally free to act and react toward an opponent without hesitation and without disturbance from such thoughts. At this point, a person relies not on what they think should be the next move, but what their trained natural reaction or instinct, or what is felt intuitively. It is not a state of relaxed and near sleepfulness, however. The mind could be said to be working at a very high speed, but with no intention, plan, or direction. Some masters believe that Mushin some masters believe that Mushin is a state where a person finally understands the uselessness of techniques and becomes truly free to move. In fact, those people who no longer even consider themselves as fighters, but merely living beings moving through space. The legendary Zen master Tekon Soho said, "The mind must always be in the state of flowing, for when it stops anywhere, that means the flow is interrupted, and it is this interruption that is injurious to the well-being of the mind. In the case of the swordsman, it means death. When the swordsman stands against his opponent, he is not to think of the opponent, nor of himself, nor his enemy's sword movements. He just stands there with his sword, which, forgetful of all technique, is ready only to follow the dictates of the subconscious. The man has effaced himself as the wielder of the sword. When he strikes, it is not the man but the sword in the hand of the man's subconscious that strikes. However, Mushin is not just a state of mind that can be achieved during combat. Many martial artists train to achieve this state of mindfulness, of mind, during kata, so that a flawless execution of moves is accomplished. that they may be achieved during combat or at any other time. Once Mushin is attained through the practice or study of martial arts, although it may be accomplished through other arts or practices that refine the mind and the body. The objective is to then attain this aspect or this same level of complete awareness in other aspects of a practitioner's life. I hope that this reading will bring some insight to you. I hope that my various delays weren't of any trouble. But today is International Nut Day, so I want you all to get out there and bust a nut, alright? I've been on Luminous Flame, and I'll leave you with the following quote from Zeba Menwari, or Zebra Munawar, from, one second, there's an ant on me. Okay, Zeba Menwar says blue is considered a cold color, but blue is the hotter part of the flame.